All right, a very beautiful video here is that every atrocity in history has eventually come to an end, and this will be no different. Right? So this will end. This will end. This will not continue on perpetually. Right? This is a hiccup, a really monstrous hiccup in our in humanity's, civilization, the history of human civilization. It's a hiccup. It's a very horrible hiccup, but it will end, right? What will end? Well, the baby is conceived, and then because of these abortifacients, these death drugs that will not prevent ovulation, it will actually kill the baby in the implantation stage. And lots more information about that in my other videos. But this is a thing that the baby will be conceived, and there will be a fully viable and intact human being, a girl or a boy, a small boy or a small girl. They will be alive. Okay. After that, a few days after, um, and basic embryology will nobody will disagree with what I'm saying is that the baby will be going to the implantation stage, and then after that, if the doctor, in this case Dr. Michelle Dow, put her signature on that prescription pad without explaining the fact that these are abortifacients, and the baby will die, right? So that there's a death here. There's a life, and then there's a very early death, and you can pretend it's a blastocyst or a zygote or whatever you want to call it, but it's a small boy and a small girl that are being killed. In very large numbers. All right, so every atrocity in history has eventually come to an end, and this will be no different. The truth cannot be suppressed forever. Eventually, society will be forced to confront this crime. Public perception may be slow to shift, but as science advances and morality prevails, this practice will be condemned. Right? So it's either one way or another. I mean, it's the world going to end, and people are just going to. I mean, the population is dropping now. I mean, how much is it going to drop? The families are not having any kind of children. Women are just not having 2.1 children on average. But I mean, is our civilization doomed to completely die? Is the Earth going to completely be without any kind of humans? I don't believe so, but it must end. This must end. This must end, and that's a very, very beautiful part of this. This is the best video this is the best video on this channel. All right, let's continue. The weight of history will bear down on those who participated, just as it has with past atrocities. Those who were complicit with will either be judged in their lifetimes or by the generations that will follow. The inevitable conclusion is justice, whether through legal means, societal reckoning, or historical condemnation. The only question is how long will it take, and how many lives will be lost before it happens. This is a very, very important point. Every time this happens, it's a separate individual crime, and it's a separate individual small boy or small girl that has been lost forever. Yep. And the moral arc of history bends towards the truth, and the truth will not be silenced forever. Well, that's debatable, and a lot of things in history are false or whatever, but at the end of that's not important. And what is important here is that this must come to an end, and this is an atrocity beyond words. It's actually the greatest, most destructive atrocity that our civilization has ever encountered, and the most deaths. And these are precious small boys or small girls, and their value is inestimable. It's inestimable value. The DNA there is intact. It's 50% from the mother, 50% from the father. They will be conceived, and then after that it will go into the natural progression into the implantation stage, where it unfortunately will die. I said it, but it's really not it. It is him or her, and I do apologize. I do not want to dehumanize that. I say it's an embryo, but that's completely false, and I do want to apologize, and I want to correct myself. It is him or her. Okay, this is him or her. A small boy or small girl will die at the stage of implantation due to these terrible drugs. And she's the one that put her signature on the prescription pad, Dr. Michelle Dow, and she's the murderess. Thank you very much for tuning into this video, a hopeful video, and it will come to an end. So there's at least that. All right, so I'll see you next time.